Hello and welcome to lesson 2 of week 14. Today we're going to focus on writing equations of parallel lines. We're going to write an equation for a line that is parallel to a given line. So we're going to focus on parallel today, and then we're going to do parallel on the next lesson. So how do we write an equation for a line? This is all review. So I'm going to review this because this is a very important concept for these next two lessons. So how do we write an equation for a line? Y equals mx plus b. We need the two things, slope, which is m, and the y-intercept, which is b. I showed you two options for this. You don't need both. Hopefully by now you've picked which one makes more sense to you. You can use slope-intercept form, and I will show you that one later today. Or you could use option 2, which is point-slope form, and I will show you that as well. So this does not relate to it does relate, but it's not with this lesson. This is a review question. Okay, write the equation for the line that passes through the points 1, 3, and negative 1, 11. So we've done this before, but I'm using this to remind you of how to do this. So we could graph the 2 points and draw the line and get the equation, but what if we don't have a graph? Well, y equals mx plus b, we need that. First thing we need to do is find the slope. We have the slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and we're going to plug in the points. So y2 is 11 minus the y value of the first point is 3. X2 is negative 1 minus the x1, which is 1. 11 minus 3 is 8. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2, which reduces to negative 4. So my slope is negative 4. Then we want to find the y-intercept. I'm going to use option 1 to do this, which is slope-intercept form. Later on in this video, I'm going to show you point-slope form again. Okay, so pick one of the points. So I'm going to choose the point 1, 3. I'm going to put 3 as the y-coordinate, putting that in for y. The slope we just found was negative 4. The x-coordinate is 1, and b is the unknown. We're trying to figure that out. So multiply negative 4 times 1, and you get negative 4 plus b. Add 4 to both sides, you get 7 equals b. And so we want to rewrite the equation. Y equals negative 4x plus 7. And so if I put that back on the graph, put the graph back up there, does it cross the y-axis at negative 7? Or sorry, at positive 7? Sure does. Slope is negative 4, down 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1. There it is. Okay, so another review question. How do we know two lines are parallel? From the last lesson, you should know that the slopes are the same. Right, use that idea as well in this lesson. How do we know two lines are perpendicular? Just a little foreshadowing here. They have opposite signs and reciprocal fractions. So here's what a problem is going to look like today. Write an equation for a line that is parallel to y equals 7x minus 12 that goes through the point negative 6, negative 2. Now, I gave you a graph here. I'm not always going to do this, but this red line here is the graph of this equation, y equals 7x minus 12. I don't want that equation. I already gave you that equation. What I want is the equation of the line that goes through this point way over here that's parallel to this line. So it's going to look something, yeah, like that. So what are we going to do? When we get rid of the graph, I'm going to show you what we're doing here. We need a slope, right? We also need a y-intercept. Let's focus on the slope first. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope, and I'm looking for a line that is parallel to that. Because I know that, I know the slope is 7. Since the slope of the line that I gave you was 7, and I'm looking for a parallel line, it's also got a slope of 7. So I have the slope. Now I need the y-intercept. This goes back to what we did as the review problem. Y equals 7x plus b. I'm going to take the point now that I have. I'm going to put negative 2 in for y. 7 is the slope. X is negative 6. And b is the unknown. So negative 2 equals negative 42 plus b. Add 42 to both sides. I get 40 for b. Write the equation. Y equals 7x plus 40. If I go back to the graph, okay, you'll see that there's the line. This has a slope of 7, and it will cross the y-axis at 40, which is well off of our graph. But you can see it's on its way. It's growing very quickly, and it's going to go up, 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 and cross the y-axis at 40. And these two lines are parallel because they have the same slope. let's try another one. Write an equation for a line parallel to that line that goes through the point 4, -2. If you're feeling pretty confident with this, pause it, try it. Okay, I am going to show you the second option using point slope form for this one. Here it is graphically what we're doing. We're trying to write the equation of the line parallel to the red line that goes through this point. Parallel means it must have the same slope, so we know the slope is -3/4. Now we can use the point 4, -2 and put it in point slope form, which, as a reminder, is this form right here. So the y coordinate goes in the first red spot here, which is -2. So y minus -2 equals the slope, which is -3/4. And then the x coordinate is 4. You can see how it looks there. I'm going to simplify the y minus -2 to y plus 2. And then I'm going to distribute the -3/4. -3/4 x. -3/4 times -4 is +3. Subtract 2 from both sides. Combine the 3 and the -2, and I get y equals -3/4 x plus 1. Going back to the graph real quick, you can see there's 1 as the y-intercept, down 3, right 4. There's the equation of the line, or the graph of the line that's parallel to the red line that goes through the point that we had. All right, that concludes lesson 2 for week 14. We'll go on to the last lesson next, where we're going to look at perpendicular lines.